أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته بارك الله فيكم تقبل الله منا ومنكم صالح الأعمال. Yes, I agree with you that this is unfair. It's a one-way traffic where you people can see me, and I have no idea what you are doing. Probably drinking good cup of tea and eating some samosas or cassavas or whatever, or doing barbecues and stuff. Anyway, you may be doing a party, but listening to me, it's ahlan sahlan. I don't mind that. Jazakumullah khairan. Hayakumullah ya Shinta Chalet. Hayakillah. This sister from Indonesia here with us. One of the known students for International Open University, IOU. Hayakumullah. Today, the topic which I have chosen is I miss you. You people may be wondering what really I want to talk about, or what is it which I really miss, or what is it which you people miss. Missing something normally is associated with a history, with something which has happened or known to you, or things which is beloved to you, attached to you, things which concerns you, things which you most likely like, things which is of benefit to you, things which you have known to enjoy and love. Many other ways to say it. Being in lockdown here in New Zealand, the thing which we normally might think is, when I say I miss you, come on, you people can help me out by putting on the chat. What do you miss? What do you think that I will say it first when I say I miss you? If we associate it with the lockdown here in New Zealand, Barakallahu fikum, when we say I miss you, you have got few seconds more to help me out. Jazakumullahu khairan. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. We have to believe in Allah and continue to sustain our iman till we taste the death. One brother of San, has said it is going to the masjid. That's what he misses, and definitely that is one of the things which is in the top of my list, I would say. Yes. We can start from there. Okay, right? Yes. Those who are associated to the masjid, not admin wise, not having a position in a masjid. Association to the masjid, the most important is being there, praying in the masjid, attending a salawat in the masjid, being part of al masjid. So if we are talking about coming to the masjid, praying in the masjid, getting the rewards of 27 times, making wudu at home, getting ready, telling your children, let's go to masjid, and then putting them in the cars, and then coming to the masjid to pray. You only came only to pray for the sake of Allah, to get the 27 times of rewards, and then you go back home. Indeed, that is one of the first things which we are missing in this lockdown. There is no doubt about that. Yes, it started on 17th of August, sister, where we have lockdown. It's just almost 2 months now. In a new series of lockdowns. So Auckland and few other places, masajid are also closed because of the lockdown. South Island, we are people are allowed to go to the masjid and attend the salawat and so forth. May Allah make it easy on all of us. Jazakallahu khairan. Now, um, it's not only coming to the masjid. When we come to the masjid, be it brothers or sisters, then we sit down, we talk, we meet, we say salam, we hug each other, we shake hands, we ask, how are you, brother? What have you been up to? And, when somebody is sick, we know he's sick because he was not able to come to the masjid. All of these things adds up. Uh, I mean, to this situation. Now we are missing on all of these things big time. However, this is not the only thing. There are so many other things which we can come on our way in our life. But before I mention as examples few of those things, I would like to say that whenever you go through something of hardships, missing something mostly is associated with difficulties and hardships. It is different from person to person. It could be something individual only to you. It is related. It could be something general. You and people around you are going through it. It could be something related to people who are of a specific background, probably specific country or specific religion. People of maybe who are associated with, say, economically, those who are poor or rich. All of these things can come in. However, in each and every one of them, to deal with these things, as Allah has said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sta'inu bis-sabri was-salah, inna Allaha ma'as sabirin. Al-isti'ana, to seek support, bis-sabr wa bis-salah, with sabrs, patience, and as-salah, the prayers. These are the essentials. These are two things among many others being mentioned in the Quran in this ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah. So one of the first steps is a rida, that you accept this, what Allah has written here, whatever it is, even like this lockdown. Yeah, we don't want lockdown, it's obvious, but and also we are not happy about that. It's only natural, but your reaction should be, I accept it. Not that you are celebrating because you have to stay, you are staying home. Some of us, we love to stay at home, but it's only for so long you can stay at home, right? It's 2 months now. It's not easy. No, it's not going to be easy. Who said it is going to be easy? But the thing is the acceptance, meaning that this is a rida bi qada'illah. It is a decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has decreed upon, say, New Zealand from 17th of August, there will be a lockdown and these things are going to happen. So it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that sense. Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. So we accept that in that sense. If there is something wrong which you are doing or someone else is doing, and because of that this thing is happening, you don't accept that wrongdoing. Don't get confused and mixed up between something which qada Allah wa qadar, and between that qada al-qadar which happened is because of you or him. We have to be careful with this. The other thing is as-sabr, which I have said, ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah. The third is al-ihtisab. It means that you are content with what Allah has decreed and you seek rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, coming to the masjid, we all love being inside the masjid and spending hours in the masjid is something which we all want. But inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is a lockdown. You can't go to the masjid. You can't pray in Salatul Jama'ah. You are missing big time on Salatul Jum'ah. You are not going to break any rules. You should not. So you say, I aslamtu nafsi lillah, I have submitted to Allah. Allah has passed this decree. This is going to happen to us. I am seeking rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through this. This is very important. Also, al-imanu bil-ibtila. Your belief in the test which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you and me. You know that this ibtila from Allah is going to happen test. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُم مُّصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا, say, come on, أيوة ما شاء الله, إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. نعم. Allah said Allah is going to test you and test me and test everyone. Test of fear. One of the biggest things in this lockdown or this COVID-19 is the fear. The biggest factor is the fear factor. All over the world. Many people would be thinking, and we are all thinking the same in a sense that we don't know if this is the end of the world, that this COVID is going to kill us all. We don't know. Nobody knows about it. And they are in places where from one family, almost all the members, they died because of COVID, one after the other. It's known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whoever the death is written to will take place. So this is ibtila, test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How you react to it is important. One day, a sahabiya, radiyallahu ta'ala anha, she lost her child. So she was at Jannatul Baqi in Madinah, where she was crying. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam passed by and he gave her nasiha of the sabr. And she said, Ilayka anni, you leave me alone, it means, Of course, she didn't know that this is Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. فَإِنَّهُ لَمْ يُصِبْكَ مَا أَصَابَنِي. You have not gone through which I have gone through. Meaning I have lost a child, you haven't lost a child. So you don't know what I'm going through. So Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam left her and went away. Later on, she was informed, oh woman, you know who that person was? She said, no, that was Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. So she came hurrying to him sallallahu alayhi wasallam and said, Ya Rasulullah, I didn't know that you are the one. I didn't know, Ya Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, that you are the one who said this to me. So Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, Innama sabru inda sadmatil ula. The sabr, the patience is at the first initial beginning information when it comes to you. The first shock, the first time it happens, your reaction is very important, that you leave it in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the ibtila which we are talking about. Inna Allah idha ahabba qawman ibtalahum faman radiya falahu rida wa man sakhata fa'alayhi sakht. When you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves you, He is going to for sure test you. And not only that, Allah is testing you to see your reaction. Of course, Allah knows how you will react. But Allah wants that to come in reality, practically. So if you accept the qada Allah wa qadar, Allah will be pleased with you. And if you do not, then Allah is displeased with you. So this is something very important in the time as such. Then al-imanu bil yawmil akhir, when you have believed in hereafter, you have the information and the faith in the way things will take place and how the process will go in the hereafter, it becomes easy for you to go through any difficulties. Now after that, coming back again, not coming back, continuing, I would say, I miss you. What do I miss? Many things. I miss my masjid, those who lost their parents or they are far away and you can't get to them because of lockdown. So I miss my parents. I miss my friends. You may be talking to them every day in video, but meeting a person and sitting down with him and doing some talking and socializing and drinking tea, you can't get that online. you can you can only do so much online. Other things has to be in real. So I miss my friends. I miss my neighbors who were coming with me to the masjid, or things like that. I can't do any more party, Islamic party, right? Um, why? Because we are not allowed to at present. So I miss my neighbors, and they miss me, right? You may say I miss my country. So if you are from some other country and you live in some other country, or from one region and you are from another region, in the duration of the lockdown, the traveling restrictions, and so many things, you can't go to the place where you used to be always, or say every year, every 2 years, you travel to that place. You can't do that anymore. So you start to miss it. And then one of the strongest things which a person, it's only subhanallah, qadar Allah wa qadar, the nature of human being, the nature with which we have been created. You may miss whoever you miss and the amount you miss. But the relationship between spouses, that the husband and wife, is such a unique relationship that in the time of goodies, when everything is okay, the two of you will think that we can tackle the entire world alone. But if it is the other way around, you think that there is nothing good in this world. So I miss my spouse will mean that if she's dead or she's in another country and they can't come to you or you can't go there, things like that. And the craziness of missing your spouse is something you cannot compare to other things. I miss my siblings. Say, for example, you have older brothers and sisters or even younger ones. Say they are in some other country and you can't travel there anymore for whatever reasons. So you start to miss them. Or you are going to miss them forever if they have passed away and died. Rahmahumullah. I mean, younger or older siblings of yours, they parted the company and gone. They did not even have the time to say, brother, I'm about to die. I feel like I would be dying. I just want to say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. No time for that. They are all gone, passed away. We all have this kind of experiences in our life. If you have not lost a sibling, maybe a cousin brother, maybe a friend you lost, someone very close to you lost. And maybe now you are feeling that I wish I had given more time to him or her. I wish I had a better relationship with them. I wish Allah gives me another opportunity so that I could be good to them. But it's too late. They are gone. They breathed their final breath. And we have buried them. They're never going to come back to this dunya before Yawm al-Qiyamah. No, they are not. So you do miss them. You miss them big time. We all do that. So yes, you miss them. You miss your siblings. You you miss other things. Like if you have grown old, you miss those days of youthfulness when you were younger, when were more healthier, you could do things which you can't do at present. 10, 20, 15, or 20, 30 years ago, you could pray so easily. You stand up in the salawat for hours and you don't feel anything. And now you struggle even while sitting on the chair to pray. So you miss those days when you didn't have any blood pressure or any diabetes or glucose issues or cholesterol issues or heart issues. You indeed miss those days. I wish I could go back to it again, isn't it? Yes, of course, we all wish about those kind of stuffs. Especially when you get older with that. It's a kind of a luggage, strings attached to it. It goes with it. So the older you get, the more different kinds of symptoms will normally come and attach to you. Automatically, from where it comes, you have no idea. It could be heart disease, it could be something to do with lungs, it could be liver, it could be kidney, it could be diabetes, it could be cholesterol, it could be blood pressure, it could be all of them together. Subhanallah. So while when you are younger, almost none of us we have these kind of issues. Exception is for very few. So you miss those things, yes. Which means again that I miss my health. You may be unhealthy for whatever reason, even though you may not be old, but you are sick right now, for example. Or something happened to you and you are struggling with your health, which will again mean you are struggling in your life. You miss those days and you start to wish that I wish I'm healthy. I become healthy like I was 20 years ago, where I never needed a doctor at all. So you miss those things. You miss the simplicity of your life. The simplicity that is, especially when you are young, especially when you are young, and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have any form of complicated, evil, ill kind of thinking. You don't think bad about people. It's not that you are speaking something and hiding something else. You don't do that. You're too young for those kind of stuffs. Such a simple life you had, hardly ever you had to think much. Your father and mother used to do everything for you. In the morning, you get up and get ready and go to school and come back in the afternoon. Not much to worry about, you know? And now you are grown up, you have a family, you have wife and children. You have to take care of them on top of your old parents. So many responsibilities, and with that, so many hardships. At times you start to wonder, I wish I was what it was 20, 30 years ago when I didn't have to worry about anything at all. If you have lost your wealth, so you'll feel like I miss my wealth. I was so rich. I had everything. I had my own house, I had my own cars, but I have nothing now. And many of the extreme older generations, they may have lost their wife and their children, or the children are there, but as if they are not there at all for them. So that old person will miss so many things, like those people who stay in old people's home. Uh, it's not always by choice, but at times it's not possible for them to be in any other place, because old people's home, such as in New Zealand here, serves as a medical facility also. Because there are those who become so old that they cannot stay at home, they cannot be nursed at home, so they have to go under medical facilities, in medical facilities such as old people's home. So they are there. How much they may be reflecting on these kind of things, right? Youthfulness, wealth, health, freedom. They are missing their freedom. Even if they want to go out, they can, but how can they go? They can't drive anymore. They don't have the option of I choose to go to the supermarket. They go and come back. They can't. They are dependent on others. Even if he goes to the supermarket, or she, what are they going to buy? They hardly ever can walk. So they will be missing those things. A day will come, may Allah protect us, we may end up doing the same, missing all those things, you know. And all of this is part of life for all of us. So why I'm talking about all these things? Just to let you know that though there are so many things which you may be missing from this, I'm pretty sure from this list, each and every one of you, something in it must have been exactly for you, such as the masjid. Probably your parents did, probably you are old, so you have got issues with health, or something like that. We all. But now look at it from the other side. These are the things which you are missing. But then there are so many things which you still have. Okay, maybe you still have wealth, though you don't have health. Okay, still you have freedom, though not in fullness, but still you can walk, you can talk, you can go for walk in the afternoon, you can play sports, you can do things. So you have many things still with you. You are breathing, you have life, you are flicking your eyes, your heart is beating, you are listening to me. So you still have your life with you. So instead of being stuck in the past, instead of being stuck with something which is not an option, which is out of your hands, such as coming to the masjid, it's not in our hands. We know it, right? So instead of being stuck in those things, let us focus on things which we have. This is the important lesson I wanted to deliver. I will conclude a very, very difficult story. May Allah protect us and may it never happen to any one of us. I mean, as far as I know, this happened in Riyadh or probably Jeddah. I'm not sure. I just forgot the city where it happened, but it happened in Saudi Arabia. Dr. Muhammad Al-Arifi, Hafidahullah, he said that he went, I think he went for a lecture and then he was invited. He's telling us himself. He said that then his host, I think he said, let us go and visit the Dr. Fulan, the Fulan doctor. We have to go and meet him. Said, okay, no problem. We can go and meet. But what is the munasiba, meaning why? Is there any reason we have to go and meet him? Of course, they did go and meet him, and then he told the story. Said that this man, mashallah, he had 11 children, and one wife, of course, and him. So one day there was a wedding, and he didn't go in that wedding, but he sent all his children. He had our son who was driving, mashallah. They have got these big cars there. One of them is GMC, and the big ones from that, they are 16 seaters. I've used those things. It's amazing, American cars. 16 seater. We have got Toyota Highs, the vans which are 12 seaters, but this one is 16 seaters. Yes, so you can carry a big family like that in it. So he said that after the wedding, they decided to come back. They thought for a while to stay there, but then they decided, no, let us return back home. So he said he is following it up through the mobile, talking to his wife and the son, and they're coming because he wants to make sure that the driver doesn't fall asleep while coming back. So they are coming and driving long way, straight roads and, desert. So he said that the wife was trying to make things happen and they were, driving and talking. And after a while, something happened and even the mother slept. And all of a sudden, the son was overpowered by sleep and he slept and there was a big accident. As far as I recall, the entire car flipped. And the result of that is that his entire family of 12 people wiped out, dead in one moment. And he is in his 50s to 60s now. And he lost all his family. He thinks about them. He walks around in his house. He goes and sees the toys of his children, and as if he can smell the smell and the fragrance of his children in those toys. He goes to the kitchen, leftover of the bread and stuffs it, sees it, as if the smell of his children coming out of it. May Allah protect us and never make us among those who have to go through this. So you see, the reason I'm telling you this is that did any one of us we went through such imtihan ikhtibar? No, I doubt it. So be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah tested you, but with very small amount of something. with something which you were able to cope with. Even if it is a lockdown, look at other countries. Yesterday, I was talking to my colleague from Egypt, Dr. Ibrahim Hafidahullah. He said, here in Egypt, the classes are going on, and in one class, I think either he said 40 or 50 students. And 3 students, they sit in one bench, 1, 2, 3, those kind of benches where more than one person can sit in the same chair, 3 in one and sitting together and studying. And they are no, school is going normal. Be thankful to Allah that we are not going through this. Our children are not going through these things. So yes, we miss on some things, but what we have is far more than what we should be missing. Wajazakumullah khairan wa barakallahu fikum. May Allah bless us all and give us the best of this dunya and hereafter, and may Allah protect us and the ones who are beloved to us. May Allah get us in Jannatil Ala al-Firdaus. Ameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati wa ma yasifun. وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.